What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that collaboration in 2022 and 2021, reached out directly and indirectly to over 100,000 fathers around the world. So as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And we're broadcasting live May 8th out of the Greater Toronto area, or Scarborough, I like to call it. Some people call it Scarborough, but I've been in the area long enough. I say I'm from Scarborough. So welcome to another edition of the Morning Vibe Show, whether you're watching live or on the replay. Thank you so much. And Toronto finally is looking to get a good stretch of nice spring weather. Beautiful spring weather happening this week. So we're really excited about that. So let's get some things, some preliminaries out of the way. So you know it's a Monday morning. Monday mornings, we are sponsored by the McMillan Group. The McMillan Group is providing mortgage solutions one client at a time since 1999, buying, refinancing, investing. They're the numbers there. Canada, 905-813-4354. US, 904-586-5636. So they have always been a great supporter. So we appreciate them and we don't take them for granted. And also the extra bonus, I said it, but you can also see it here. The McMillan Group, there's a Canada number, US number, toll-free number, website address, email address, everything is there. So most of the time we have Ryan Knight with us. Ryan is traveling again. He messaged me last night saying he's going to be in Montreal today. He will try to come on, but hey, you know what? I'm able to do it hand solo. So we are all good. What did everyone do this weekend? What is up? We had rain here in Toronto. Yes, it rained most of the day, but Saturday was a beautiful day. I guess it was the appetizer to what's coming on this week. So I guess, you want good weekend on the weekends. And if you have to work during the week, you say, let's have the bad weather then. But you know what? I'll take good weather anytime. Anytime. So as we're on live here, hey, chime in. Tell us what you did during the weekend. Also, where are you chiming in from? Where are you chiming in from? That is an important thing. So let's see. We got a message here. Okay. So before we go further, a big week is coming up next week. Does anyone know what's coming up next week? What's coming up? What's coming up next week? Pop quiz. What's coming up? If you watch the Morning Vibe, we talked about it last week. What's coming up? Come on, family. I'm counting on you. Well, you know what? If you don't know what's coming up next week, we're going to tell you. There's an old song by Van Halen called Right Now, Right Here, Right Now. So this is what's coming up next week. Here we go. You bet it. ByBlacks Black Restaurant Week. ByBlacks.com Restaurant Week. Let me correct myself. ByBlacks.com Restaurant Week is happening next week. Now and it's right across Canada, by the way, but let's speak that the weather we're getting, at least in this area this week, is all throughout Canada next week. So people can go out and have their restaurant time. Now, we're going to bring up the driver. The co-driver, I'd say the co-driver of ByBlacks.com, Mr. Roger Dundas. Are you with us this morning? We need you to unmute yourself. There we go. I heard it.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Dr. Vibe. Morning, Vibe family.
I need you to raise your camera, because just if you can just tilt your camera up or a little bit, we can make things happen.
There we go.
Yeah, that's
There we
better.
go.
That's better. That's better. Good morning. Good morning. How are things with you?
Good. Good. Feeling good. It's a Monday.
Yes. How was your weekend?
The weekend was pretty good. Got some gardening done,
Yes.
So
Yes.
1 day of gardening on Saturday and 1 day of good rain to replenish that garden on the
Yes.
Sunday. So
Well timed.
that was pretty good.
Well timed. Well timed. Well, there may be some people, unfortunately, that don't know about ByBlacks.com.
No,
So
that's not. That's just a fact. There are people that don't know about the morning vibe, which is sad for them. Sorry to hear that.
okay. But okay. So two-part thing. If you can share a little bit about ByBlacks.com, and also then you can segue right into Restaurant Week.
Absolutely. So ByBlacks.com, for those who don't know, it's an online magazine that focuses on telling Black Canadian stories. And we started this in February, on February 17th, actually, exactly, 2013. So that makes us a 10-year-old, about to become teenager in a few years, company that has stuck through it. And right now, I would say we are, I think, somewhere between 15 to 20 writers are consistent, pushing out articles on the Black Canadian existence and the Black Canadian constellations, as Ed would like to call them. And of course, but there are some Black Canadian communities that exist in Halifax. I can say that for sure. There are some communities out there that are not really like constellations. And through this journey of ByBlacks.com, we've tried to figure out a way to support different businesses. We do support nonprofit organizations by just giving them a 25% discount. Black Canadian nonprofits. No questions asked. No need to give us back any marketing benefit or anything like that. And then through that journey too, we've always looked at the different industries, and food, clothing, shelter are really the three things that I'm personally focused on, even from a personal investment perspective. I know Ray will like that, especially the shelter part. That's right. And what we were seeing in the pandemic. I mean, even before the pandemic, we had started this journey of trying to do a food week, or restaurant week from 2018, somewhere around 2017, 2018, starting to get that ideation of doing this. And we tried, it didn't work. And then in 2021, when restaurants are being slaughtered by the pandemic, we said, okay, you know what, we could probably do something, come up with some type of marketing focus that would drive some attention to some of these Black-owned restaurants across the country. So that's what we're doing. And the restaurant week started 2021, spring edition. So this is the fifth time we're doing it, 2021, 22 edition, spring and fall. And the participating restaurants, what they have to do is to provide a prefix menu that is an appetizer, entree, dessert, which is now priced somewhere about $16 or more. So at first we had started out giving them a range, but we realized, you know what, there's some restaurants that go way above the range, and there's some restaurants that are more, on the lower end. So just to accommodate and to also let the customers know what the price point, what you should expect of the price point. So in giving that prefix menu, embedded in that is a discount of somewhere between 10 to 25%, depending on the restaurant. Some restaurants give more discount, some restaurants give less. So, it really depends on the restaurant. We're not telling the restaurants what to do. It's not like some of the food delivery apps that just tell them, hey, we're going to take away 25%, 30%. No. And plus, there's no benefit coming back to us. That's really the customer that is receiving the benefit. of trying, an appetizer, entree, dessert, and one snap, right? So really, the benefit is really with the customer.
Excellent. Um, why is the restaurant industry so important to Black Canada, in your opinion?
Well, you know what? One of the things that what we saw on the directory. So let me start with the directory. Our business directory is the largest directory in Canada of black-owned businesses. It is the largest. We have 4,800 businesses listed, and 20% of those are food businesses. So if you say it in a different way, one in five restaurants, one in five black-owned businesses are more likely to be a food business, right? So that's the highest number of any category. I think the only category that comes somewhat close to that, not really close, but I think it's about 7% of the listings are barbershops and beauty salons, which we know. I mean, if you're walking in the community, you're gonna see a barbershop. Whether you're in Brampton or Halifax or Vancouver, you're gonna run up on a black-owned barbershop. But the thing is, those things are optional where food is not, right? Food is not an optional thing for a human being. We must eat food. And the thing is that I find with black people, depending on where you're from, whether you're from Africa or you're from the Caribbean, or even if you're from Nova Scotia, wherever you're from the States, we enjoy eating our own food. We enjoy it. We're not really from here. So eating food is somewhat of a nostalgic experience for you. It's a memory. For me, I'll eat a ackee and sawfish, and I remember being in Jamaica, right? So some of it is nostalgia, some of it is community. So Black-owned spaces provides that community for Black people. You step into a restaurant, you run into people, you feel at home, right? So these are some of the things about why the food industry needs to be supported. Yes, we need it to survive. It provides us some type of community and just that experience. No, I can't hear you, Dr. Vibe.
Hold on. Can you tell people how many Black restaurants you've been to in this country? I
Oh
always
my
like to share this
God.
with people.
No. It's a good thing I'm not obese, because people would say, okay, well, I can see why, but I've probably been to over 300 Black-owned restaurants. And I'm gonna put together the list, and when you look at the list, you're gonna see that probably a third. I estimate that a third or 40% of them have already closed. So when you think about that,
Wow.
right, and that's just a 20-year span. I mean, if you think about the early days, I mean, when I came here, 2000, back then on King Street, there was a restaurant called Muse, no longer there.
Yes. Yes.
The two Harlem restaurants, no longer there.
Yes.
Train Studio. I could keep on
Yes.
going. I mean, there's so many. Room Service, that was on St. Clair. Remember that one?
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's so many restaurants, and even recently in Little Jamaica, Reggae Cafe closed down. Caribbean Slice, the pizza
Yep.
place, they opened with a big fanfare, and now they're closed, right? And also, I just heard Carib 21 closed April 30th. So as recent as that. So in Little Jamaica, there, the year before, the vegan place, Celebrity Cuisine, I think it was called. I can't remember the name. Remember, they had a nice vegan place down there.
Mm-hmm.
The food was amazing, but landlord, when you don't own the building,
There
you
you
put
go.
yourself at risk, right? Of somebody just determining that, hey, we're gonna shut down your business, right? So yeah, I've been on this food journey, let's say. It's I think what it is really is being a little bit intentional in how you're spending your money. And I
Yep.
know Wayne and Ray, they like to speak about that intentionality as well too. So I mean, you're gonna, nobody. I don't think there's one person that's listening here is gonna tell me that they cook every day and they don't go out ever. That would be a false. I mean, it's just sometimes you just get, and I cook as well, but sometimes I just get tired of it. And I think with my family, we do every Friday, we would normally eat out somewhere. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a black-owned restaurant, but I would say 80% of the time I am patronizing black-owned restaurants, right?
Hmm. Hmm. I know we have a friend coming on, but I just got to ask one more question before we get her on to share some of her story in her restaurant. You have seen this grown to become a national event. I don't
It,
consider this a week. I consider this an event.
well, it was always a national event, so I have to be careful with that because we started it trying to get restaurants nationally to
Sure.
participate, right? So it was always national. It's just that the it was hard to stay in Ontario and connect with a restaurant in, let's say, PEI, if you're not
Mhm.
physically going there, which is why we started traveling and going to the different cities and engaging with both the Black community associations that are there to assist in onboarding restaurants to get the market and also supporting, and then also working with the tourism boards in the various cities as well, as they are very invested in this. For them, it's a win-win, right? They get to promote restaurants, and the restaurants get to get the additional exposure.
Okay, well, good. So some of the seems that the family has now jumped in. We got Wayne Harris saying good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you also, Wayne. Aldofina, thank you so much for coming in. Was well limited. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Tim Frey is in the house. Good morning, Tim. Wayne says, yeah, happy to spend money within the community and having the black dollar turn within in. It's a great idea. So this
I'm
is
gonna
fantastic.
shift. I'm gonna shift a little bit.
No, okay, you're still okay. You're okay.
Just gonna shift into the light,
Shift into the
into
light.
the
So
white.
yeah, everyone, if you have any questions for Roger about Restaurant Week, this is the time. This is the place to make it happen. And as I said, he's been over 300 black-owned restaurants in this country.
Yeah, there's a lot of learnings. When you start to talk to the owners, you realize that there are some um, similarities, right? And one of the key similarities is that it's a funny thing because it helped us in one way and it hindered us in another way, right? The fact that we as black people in the past, and I won't say it's happening as much now, but in the past, the type of locations that we would get a restaurant would be kind of off the beaten path. And I think about like the original Berry's location, which is in an industrial area in Ajax, or I think about a place like even what's the one I'm trying to find another one. If you go up in Brampton and they're on a side road, so they're not on the
Yeah,
main.
yeah.
They're not on the
Locate.
main road.
Yeah,
They're in a strip
location.
mall, right? They're in a strip mall. It doesn't afford them the opportunity to do dining, so they just did takeout, which was their saving grace during the pandemic because they were already in a takeout mode, so they didn't have a dining staff to lay off and all of that. They just had to keep on punching out the food. So you'll find that as you go across the country, that still a lot of the older restaurants are in off the road strip malls and not really on the main street. In Halifax, where I just went to the other day, there were two restaurants downtown proper on two significant streets. One at a very prime location on the corner, Mary's African Cuisine. She's from Ghana, and then there's another one where we did the media launch kickoff, which was Brought a Jamaican Jerk, which was on Grafton Street, and again that's also in a prominent downtown area. But the rest of them are scattered all over and not really in prominent areas.
Location, location,
Location,
location, eh?
location, and they don't own
Location.
buildings, and that's a lot of things.
That's a
Yeah,
double knock.
yeah,
Location and not owning your land, right?
yep.
Uh okay. Our guests vanished for a second, so so she came back. There's a question, but you know what? I want to get the guest on. Wayne, you have a question. I'm gonna save it to a little bit later on because our guest has been patiently waiting to come on and she's looking so fine, so I want to show her off to the Morning Vibe family. We have Yvette Spencer with us. Good morning, Yvette. If you can take yourself off of mute.
Yes, good morning.
There we go. Yvette Spencer is in the house.
Yay.
Good morning, Yvette Spencer. And Yvette is the owner chef of Mermean's Fine Sea Boil Bubble Tea in Toronto. How you doing this morning?
I'm great.
Good, good, good. I hope we haven't wakened you up too early.
Oh, no, I'm good.
Good stuff. So, Roger, let's tag team and ask Yvette questions. But Yvette, can you share a little bit about yourself, your journey? Then we'll get to the actual restaurant. So, if you can share yourself with our audience, that'd be great.
Okay, so I'm Yvette Spencer, and I'm an esthetician. So I've been doing aesthetics since 1999. And then when the lockdown happened, I decided that I was not going to stay home. So I decided to start cooking and selling seafood, which I've never done before. So I went to a little cafe in Dufferin and Lawrence that I usually buy breakfast, and I asked him if I could cook some food and sell. And he was really surprised because he knows that I have a business where I do eyelash extensions and other skincare treatments. So I told him, I said yes, because we had a forced lockdown at the time. This was the beginning of April 2020, immediately after the lockdown. So I just asked him, I said, how much is your rent? He told me how much his rent was. I said, I'll pay half. And he was shocked that I would offer to pay half for a business that I'm just starting from scratch. So I went down to the back of his restaurant and built a little makeshift kitchen and started doing my research into seafood boil. And just before I started the seafood boil, then I also, because my kids always like to drink bubble tea, so I said, well, maybe I should add something else. And so I did some more research and found someone that was teaching bubble tea class because he was in the lockdown and he couldn't open his business, even though he was a restaurant, but he was in a little plaza that was closed. So I went and I took the training for the bubble tea and started with both things at the same time, making bubble tea. As a black person, no, there's no black people doing bubble tea.
Yeah, yeah. I was just going to
An,
talk about
Ori- an
that.
Oriental thing, it's a Chinese thing,
Yes.
a Thai thing. And so I thought, well, I'm gonna be different because if Asian people can sell black products, why can't I make bubble tea? And
Smart.
being different all my life and very innovative and always doing some kind of business since I was 18 years old. So I decided to learn bubble tea. I started out seafood boil and bubble tea in this cafe on Dufferin Street. And even in the beginning, I used to tell the customers, every person I handed a bag of food, their food to, I would say to them, I'm just starting. Please give me your feedback. If you like it, if you don't like it, anything I need to fix, anything I need to improve, please let me know. So I was doing that with every customer. And they did give me feedback, oh, this was too salt or this. And so I made the changes. My menu is very similar to another seafood restaurant. I won't mention their name.
Mhm. No
But
problem.
my menu is very similar to the other seafood boil franchise that's in Ontario. And I mean, I have some of my positive reviews on Google said it's like the other place, but better. Because as you know, our food is seasoned. It's
Yes.
it's not bland, it's seasoned and it's flavorful. So I have
Nice.
everything from shrimp, mussels, crab legs, lobster tail. I have king crab legs. I do salmon, grilled salmon. I have grilled chicken breast. And I'm just about to start. Actually, I started the restaurant on Mother's Day 2020. So
Okay.
starting this Mother's Day, on my third anniversary, I will be starting a breakfast menu with
Oh,
teas from around the world,
wow.
coffees, and so where we are in Eglinton, there's no breakfast option.
Yeah,
There's
there's
no breakfast,
nothing.
no
Yeah.
breakfast. So we're starting our breakfast menu, And I chose not to do Jamaican menu, Jamaican food, because I thought there was enough Jamaican food in the community. And in everything I do business wise all my life, I always did something that no other Black people did. So that's why I wanted to do a menu that there's no other Black person doing, which is the seafood boil and the bubble tea. And even when I went and took the training for the bubble tea, my teacher said when I was finished, he said, "Now go to all the bubble tea places around you, buy their bubble tea, taste it, and go make yours better." And that's what I did.
Wow. I love it. I love it. I think that's absolutely fantastic because when you talk about bubble tea, you know, one of the things again, when I was younger and had hair, I used to referee for the Chinese Canadian Youth Athletic Association. And that's where I was introduced to bubble tea. So to hear a melanated person doing bubble tea, I love it. I love it because you're doing like you already have me sold. I gotta come down. Seafood and bubble tea. Love the mix. I love your creativity. Roger is back with us. Roger, do you want to add anything before we go on with more
Well,
conversation?
with that conversation, I'm headed there on Wednesday, even Wednesday. Right. I got to drop off something for you anyway, but I mean, I told her, I called her, I said, no, man, I have to taste that seafood. I have to. And then the bubble tea doesn't know. My son loves bubble tea, by the way. Loves a bubble tea. And it's great that there's actually a black owned business that's selling it. I've just never seen that. I've
No, I've
never
never
seen it
either.
before.
I've never seen it either. And
Yeah.
I pride myself in being the first to do things.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm the
Mm,
first, not just Black person, I'm the first woman to bring the single strand eyelash extensions to Canada in 2004. It wasn't even a word, you couldn't find it on Yahoo. Google was just being born in 2000 back then. You couldn't find it
wow.
anywhere.
Wow.
As an esthetician, I just went to a trade show. I bumped into a Japanese lady. She was doing eyelash extensions in a little booth, and I was just mesmerized. I stood at her booth for 4 hours. I could not leave. I'm like, I was so interested in what she was doing. My friend who was with me at the show said, "Oh, come on." She walked around the show. She came back. She was like, "Come on, let's go. You still watching this?" I said, "I'm like, oh my, look what you're doing. Let's bring this back to Canada. Let's bring this back to Canada." And my friend was like, "Are you crazy?" Her words to me, which I will never forget: "No one is going to let you stick those things in their eyes." My God,
Mm.
what if I had listened to her?
Wow.
Good thing I'm a leader
Oh,
and not a follower.
Why?
Before
I love Yvette. She's bold, sold, and told.
Wow.
I did not, from I stopped at that lady's booth at the trade show, when I walked away, I had an eyelash kit in my hand.
Wow.
Wow.
And
So
yes,
you know what I love. Sorry to interrupt, but you have taken your drive and you've applied it to different industries.
that's right.
You and it's a great education for some of us here that there are core things that you can apply to many different areas. Look at Yvette being the first in one industry, now being the first in the industry. She had the leadership, the vision that she could apply it to different platforms of different environments. Just before we continue on, there's some comments here. I want to catch up with people. Fitnets IQ Cam says, "Good morning, gentlemen." Saying also, "Roger, you're inspiring me to travel Canada."
Yes. You have
Uh,
to.
Good morning, Ray. Good morning. He says, "This is quite a bold move, Yvette. In crisis, there is always opportunity. Kudos to you."
Thank you.
Damien says, "Good morning, beautiful people." And then from the DMV, Divine Right. "Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. The menu sounds amazing. Thanks for offering seafood that is not shellfish." A person that is usually here but is not, Ryan Knight, saying, "Looking forward to trying this bubble tea and seafood." You know what? You're onto something here. You're onto something. And also Divine Right says, "Wow, now look at the eyelash extension industry. Glad you listened to your intuition."
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
So
Just
great. Go ahead.
even in 2005, well, I've through the years of doing the eyelash extensions, I've had so many people tell me, "Oh no, you're not the first. I knew this person that was doing it and that person that was doing it." And when they name drop other companies, I let them know one of the main companies. I said, "Yeah, I invited that company from Texas to come to Canada to do their first class. I taught the first eyelash extension class in Toronto in 2006. I exhibited at the biggest aesthetic spa trade show in Canada, in Vancouver, Calgary, Montreal, in Toronto for 15 years. This eyelash extension business took me to every province in the country.
Wow.
Winnipeg, Calgary, Alberta. I went to Fort McMurray, New Brunswick. I flew to New Brunswick to teach one lady in 2007. Not that I wanted to teach one person, but it was so brand new then, the eyelash extensions, that when I advertised my class, I only had one lady registered in New Brunswick. And
Wow.
with the money she paid me for the class, I brought her ticket and I flew to New Brunswick. I carried the portable bed with me, everything. And when she came to see me at the hotel for the training, she was asking, where's the other students? I said, "You're it." She was she had tears running down her face when she said, "You flew all the way from Toronto only for me?" I said, "Well, I'm a businesswoman and I was not about to cancel on you after you paid me. And plus, by flying to New Brunswick just to teach you, now I have a student in New Brunswick. Now I
All
have
right.
someone in New Brunswick."
All
So
I
right.
love that.
I've taught eyelash extensions and I certify people. My business is insured in every single province in Canada.
Wow.
All right. Well, we're here for food. Nothing wrong with eyelashes. We want to get back. We want to get back to the food. So no problem. We want to celebrate success. So Diana Laylor Plumber says, "I tried the seafood. Excellent."
Yay! Thank you.
Fitnance goes, "Good morning, Yvette. Mans.
Manas,
Manas."
manas.
And she also definitely want to hit up the spot. And Divine Right says, "You're a breath of inspiration."
Thank
Love
you.
it. Love it.
Also, Ray says, "What character and business ethics? Impressive."
Impressive.
Thank you.
Impressive.
Thank
So, Wayne, you have a number of questions, but we're going to save in the end because we don't want to do the eyelashing today. It's not eyelash
Okay.
week; it's
Okay.
restaurant week.
Restaurant week is
But so-
next week. It's not. It's next week.
Yeah, it's next
Monday.
week. But
Yay.
people, there are some questions we'll save to the end. So, unless you have a conversation piece, Roger, I have a number of questions.
Yeah, you know what? I just want to highlight something. It might not be obvious, right, to you guys, but Mermaid's Find is in Little Jamaica. All right, so Little Jamaica is one of the areas historic. Well, it's a historic district now, based on the city of Toronto's classification, right? So it's been zoned Little Jamaica. And as I said earlier, there are 3 restaurants from Little Jamaica that closed since November last year.
Wow.
Mermaid's Find is still open.
Yeah.
There is a challenge down there. We all know it's the LRT. There's a construction. There's the this, the that. But what I'm encouraging all the people always that put the excuses aside. There's parking there. There's parking. There's a parking garage there, right near to where you are, Yvette, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so what I want you to do is I want you to go down there. It doesn't have to be just restaurant week. I want you to go down there and support the businesses. Not just Mermaid's Find. There's a ton of other businesses down there too. There are barbershops, there's clothing, etc., etc., etc. We need to support our Black-owned businesses. The BBP has been doing a fantastic job via Michelle and Hal Salah. I have to give her a big shout out.
Yeah, it was just a happy belated birthday, Michelle, too.
Yes, she has been instrumental in getting people like Yvette on board to take advantage of Restaurant Week, and they actually fund it. So I just want to let everybody know the BBP is supporting the businesses down there with hard-earned cash money, supporting them to give them this marketing and this exposure. So we know as the Black community, no more excuses. We want you to go down there and support the businesses. Let's start with Mermaid's Find. Let's swarm her, as they would say. They eclipse these businesses. So a ton of people show up on one day and just buy out all the stock. Not on the weekend when you know she's getting business. Go down there on like the Wednesday. When do you open the event?
Like the Chinese, I open every day.
Every day. There you go. So there you go. So you can go there on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You can go there any day and get your seafood boil and bubble tea. Right?
All right.
So please go and support it.
Yes, holidays are the busiest day. Mother's Day, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, New Year's Day, we're open.
Yes, like the Chinese. I love that.
All right. So just before we continue on with the conversation, going to do it midway. If you like what you're seeing, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. And if you subscribe on YouTube, hit the notification button so you get notified when we're doing epic conversations like this. Also, subscribe on Facebook, wherever you're watching it, and also on Ryan's platforms and the ACBN, Afro-Caribbean Business Network platform. So just want to put that in. We also have more comments. So I'm allergic to shellfish. DMV, our DMV connection. I'm allergic to shellfish, and a couple of places down here don't offer non-shellfish options. So it's refreshing to hear that she's offering salmon and other fish. Need to stop by when I visit Canada. So Wayne, with a non-eyelash question saying, I'm allergic to seafood. So what can I enjoy at your spot?
We have chicken. We have grilled chicken breasts. And we have all types of vegetables. Okay. All kinds of vegetables, yes.
And he has another great question here. Do the services like Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, and DoorDash take a significant amount of your profits? I know Roger could answer that, but also
rhetorical question.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Absolutely not.
They don't?
Oh.
Absolutely not. When I first started, a month later, someone came in and said, "Are you an Uber?" And I said, "Oh, no, I'm not." And so I got myself an Uber, DoorDash, Skip the Dishes. Right. And the first question I asked them when they were onboarding me was, how am I going to survive with you taking 30%? And they said, we don't have to take 30%. Increase your price on our platform. Our customers will pay.
Bam.
That's what I did. So
that's it.
Bam.
When I hear, I'm brand new. I'm the newest kid on the block in the restaurant business. And I started in the pandemic. Yeah. But when I hear other restaurant owners complaining and saying, "Oh, I don't know why I can't survive because Uber and DoorDash and Skip are taking too much of my money," I'm like, what are they talking about? They literally tell you to increase your price on their platform so you don't lose. On my website, mermaidsfind.com, it is my actual ordering system. From day one, I made that website and put in place online ordering, which I was very strict with in the beginning. Order online. Even if they come in front of me in the store, I handed them a tablet. Either they put the ordering or I can put the order in for them. But it was all done online at my website, where I get their name, their email, their phone number. So I have over 2,000 customers that has been to my.
Okay, hold on now. Now you're dropping some knowledge bombs here now. You have how many email addresses do you have?
Right now about 2,800.
Okay, Roger. We always talk about how important getting email addresses is?
Absolutely.
So to know, so Yvette, did you go to the Roger Dundas School of Business?
No.
I went to the School of Hard Knocks.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
That is amazing. And you just talked about your website. There's a website there, mermaidsfind.com.
Oh.
So that little orange thing at the bottom, it says see menu and order. When you go to the website, you click on that. And then you see the full menu with prices. I detail my items. So if you see a meal, you can see what goes in it. You choose You choose your meat kind. You choose whether you want to have corn, potato, or rice. You get two choices out of the three.
Mhm.
Then you choose your sauce, your spice level, and you can add on other things to it.
Mm.
Then you check your
I'm
cart,
just
you
hungry
put
right
in,
now.
Yeah, yeah, no, really. Why didn't the best breakfast menu open up today? I'd come down right now.
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So then you just put in your phone number, your email, and you choose how you want to pick up. I have delivery. Amazing. I have delivery,
Mhm.
and my food is being delivered by DoorDash.
Mhm.
Okay.
I did start out trying to hire individual
Mhm.
drivers. They drove me crazy, not being on time,
No
making
pun
me look bad.
intended.
When the food's
Yep.
ready and the driver is not there, and then the customers are upset. And one thing with me in all my businesses I've ever done, if my customer is upset, I want to immediately know what I can do to make them feel better.
Wow.
And I
You know,
want
Repeat that. Repeat that. When the
yes,
customer
repeat
is
that.
upset.
if my customer is upset,
Wow.
my go-to question in any business I do, I
Mhm.
apologize and I ask, what can I do to make it better? Please
All
give
right.
me the opportunity to fix it.
I wanna hold on a number of things. First of all, we're doing some broadcasting on Instagram Live, so we're talking about by Blacks Restaurant Week. You need to check it out, please. And we're sharing today with Yvette Spencer, who is Mermaid's Fine Sea Boil Bubble Tea. So seafood and bubble tea in Little Jamaica. Could you ever think of that conversation? Well, it's being done now. And so I just want to shout out on the Instagram, self surf your life, keen on you. What is up, keen on you? Sorrel and Sage, Mr. Gospel Cafe. Hello, hello, hello. So we're just broadcasting a bit. And the McMillan Group is not only watching this on YouTube, but also on Instagram Live. Now, this is something, it's interesting. You said about find out what's wrong with the customer. One of the most popular YouTube shorts was Roger Dundas saying the same thing during a conversation. So I'm wondering, you really didn't go to the Roger Dundas Business School, right?
Wow, wow, wow. Well, I always find that clients complaining, and guys, I want to tell you this every time. You're not going to hurt my feelings by telling me that something's wrong with my blacks. As a matter of fact, I thank you because that's free consultation. I'd normally have to go hire an expert, some consulting firm to come in and dig deep into the company and say, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, which we did. We did that last year. We hired an expert to go in and dig through the company and all of that. But when somebody tells you, hey, this thing doesn't work, this thing, oh, is there a better way to do this? It's just free advice. And we welcome it. I don't get bent up about anybody complaining about anything. I take it and I say, thank you very much. I apologize for that. And let's see how we can make it better. So Yvette, that is the
Yeah.
Absolutely.
only way to do it.
I've
Other
been doing
people,
it. Yeah, I've been doing that for decades.
Wow.
there's this food there's this restaurant chain, they're a franchise, biggest restaurant chain in Kent Black one. I won't call the name, but they could really do with some of your mentorship. I believe me, because they argue with customers when they complain.
Never,
Wow.
never, never,
No, that's not
never,
the way. That's definitely not the way to get it
never.
done.
The-
Some more comments here from the family here. Uh, Divine Right, DMV's coming in. It's fascinating that she's offering bubble tea down here. Mainly people who are Asian, Caucasian, etc. Sell it, not us. Keep expanding.
100%.
Thank you.
Ray says, yep, it's all about the margins, price adjustment to offset costs. Business
Yes.
101.
Yes, Ray.
Yep. Divine Right again. Yep. That's what Uber, Grubhub, DoorDash do here. The price is higher on their platforms, and I still order from them.
Yeah.
Man, lots of people get, man, you may need to teach a course here. I'm
Mhm.
telling you. Because you know what? And Roger said, I know a number of food businesses that would very profit from your mentorship. But that's a whole other conversation.
Yes.
Tim Frey says, if you understand the logistic costs of running a delivery service, those delivery services make sense. A very smart event. Understanding how to raise your prices just for delivery is important.
Yep. But they tell you to do it. That's what they
They
tell
tell
you to
you,
do. They tell
Absolutely,
you to do it.
absolutely.
but
It's,
this
but
is
some
another
people
gem.
don't.
Yeah.
Some people still try to hold the price, and
I
then
don't
they're
understand why
losing
they do that.
that margin. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yes.
Here, racist database management. This was like that. You're the first restaurant or one of the few restaurants that's ever mentioned that to
Yep.
me, either live or
Or in
offline.
person. Or in
Database.
person.
Yes.
Yeah.
The key to business success. A vet should do, there you go, should do a course on scaling business. Hello. I'm not the other one.
Thank you.
Hello.
Mm.
Share Night goes, good morning, all. I love that you asked for constructive feedback from your customers. I have tried to give feedback in the past, which was not well received and resulted in me never going back.
Hey, big up Sure Night.
Never going back.
That's what happens.
Yes.
If I can tell a quick story, I went
Please
to this.
do.
It was not. Oh, it had to do with a restaurant. So I went to this restaurant, Caribbean restaurant nearby where I live, and the food tasted amazing. They had just opened up, and we went back again, and not black one but Caribbean one. We went back again, and unfortunately, the food that we ate made us sick. Right? So 3 households got sick.
Wow.
We went to the restaurant, very sick, by the way. So we went back to the restaurant to just talk to the owner, and she refused to even come out.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, she was like, and to be honest, I mean, she was busy because, they have the same challenges, right? Lack of staff, blah, blah, blah. So it just so happens that one of the co-owners of the restaurant also runs a bike shop, which is in the same strip mall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not calling the names, but run by South Asian, look like Caribbean South Asian people.
Okay.
So here's what the guy, true story, guys, true story. I went to the guy last week. I was fixing my daughter's bike because it's Caribbean owned. I try to support that person, right?
Yep.
I told the guy, I said, by the way, that restaurant, I don't know if I mentioned to you that, 3 households got diarrhea, 11 people got sick, right? And he said, oh, I didn't know. We had this black girl working there. That's exactly what he said to me.
Wow.
So, and he tried to blame it on the worker. He tried to blame
that's
it
bad.
on the Negro/black girl that was working there. That's what he said to me. And I think he caught, when he said Negro, I think he caught himself and then he said black. But the offense already made. So what's going to happen now? What do you think of that? Well, we stopped going to the restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think of that? We're going to stop going to the bike shop too. I'm going to go back to another bike shop because I can't.
Wow.
It doesn't work. You can't do that. And he doesn't know who I am. He has no idea who I am.
Okay, so just to catch up, some more people jumping on. Good morning, Wendy Vincent. Do you know who that is, Roger?
Yeah, I've heard of her. I think she used to work at CBC, I think at a ROM or something like that.
Yeah.
I think so. She's a PR person, right?
Yes, for a great organization called Convo Media. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, right?
I heard she's good, man.
I heard she's great. Okay. Mark Lewis, good morning. I am Danny Stone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're doing a little broadcast here. Whiskey, Jazz, and Leadership. What's up? I saw you at a record store, I believe, in DC. We're just doing a little bit of snipping of and talking about ByBlacks Restaurant Week happening next week, right across Canada. So we're talking with Yvette Spencer. And so Yvette, let me ask. Oh, actually, there's another question here. Hold on. Here we go. Well, Share Night says first impressions are lasting. Ray has a question here. Why do most Caribbean Afro restaurateurs start their businesses from scratch as opposed to buying existing business with an existing physical footprint and history? Maybe that's a Roger question.
You know what, Ray? The options are very slim. So if you look at the franchising restaurants right now, I believe they are Sunrise and Ritz. I think those are the two. I heard that GC Jerk was also going to franchise. So if GC Gospel Cafe is on, you can ask him right now if he's still franchising. I heard that he was going to franchise. And I know that Potluck, I think they did try franchising and then they pulled back to the ownership model. So there are not a lot of options. And then, depends on if you want to go into, because it's expensive. Sometimes it's just as expensive to go with a franchising model. And then, you're giving up a cut of your share and all of that stuff. So, I mean, if the person, I feel like, to answer your question, Ray, if the person is good with preparing a meal, good with customer service, and good with marketing and business management, they probably should just do it themselves. If they're not good with those things, then maybe they should go with a franchise model.
So I am Danny Stone says on Instagram says Caribbean restaurants must also maintain the quality across all locations. Mark Lewis, Instagram Live, saying consistency is lacking within the franchises.
Yeah.
Harris Marketing saying you can only scale if your systems are strong.
Right, 100%.
Divine Right saying, wow, he said Negro Black girl out of his mouth. Shame, I wouldn't support him either. Boy, bye.
Boy, trust me.
Oh, so we got to get back to Yvette too. And I love the questions going, actually Whiskey Jazz and Leadership on Instagram says, I only lost $250,000 owning a franchise. If you can, you should do it yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
You should do. Go ahead. Go ahead. So Yvette, I want to come back to you. What about staffing? Because I always hear in restaurants, you had mentioned it earlier. Let's talk about the staffing challenge.
Okay, so my partner and co-workaholic is my mother.
Wow. Co-workaholic. I've never heard that phrase before.
Oh my gosh. Like we have to literally grab a chair and physically put her in the chair to sit down sometimes.
Wow.
And she's in her 70s, but you wouldn't know it by
wow. She's a young woman, man. She's a young woman. That's
yes, right. Yes. But I'm telling you, she's ready for anything, just like me. So
that's where you got it from. You got it from your mom.
I have my mom. I have my son who's 14 now, and I have my cousin. So that's the staff right now. Before, back in 2021, I had a couple of friends that decided to come and help me work, and I paid them their salary every week on time. Even when you don't pay yourself, I made sure it's my priority number one. Keep the staff happy.
Yes.
But keep them working and without their phones in their hands. Yes. There's no phones in hand in my kitchen. No. And my kitchen is very clean. Yeah.
Wow. No phones in the hands and database management.
And my kitchen is very clean because if I don't keep, I still have my mom to slap me over the head. Yeah. And she don't joke. She don't.
Well, Yvette, I feel like everybody who's watching this show that lives close to Toronto or in Toronto is going to be visiting your restaurant next week.
Thank you. And I just wanna big up a restaurant. It is a Black-owned restaurant. When I started, not knowing anything about the restaurant business, I need to tell you that Phyllis of Epiphany.
Oh, yes.
Bless her soul.
Big up, Phyllis, yeah.
I've had at least 5 other restaurant owners said to me, why are you getting into the restaurant business? You won't make any money. Try to discourage me. And say, well, don't you do beauty? Why are you doing food? I was like, wow. Phyllis of Epiphany took me and she taught me a lot. She told me all the little nitty-gritties and how to do this and how to do that. And I have to thank her very, very much.
Mentorship.
There's another one.
Go ahead.
The House of Jerk, Wendy in Rexdale. I met her during the lockdown. I met her after I started doing the food. Never knew her before, and she just mothered me and guided me. So I really had to say that.
All right. Divine Right is saying, Mom is no joke. And also, hashtag with love Inc. says, yes, service from the leadership levels on Instagram Live. Yes. So Divine Right has a question. I think you need to teach a course. What email platform does Yvette use? For example, some people have, Constant Contact. Also, does she maintain her own lists, draft newsletters, or outsource it? So people getting into your business.
I am a certified workaholic. I do it all myself. My Instagram page right now is 2,700, I think, for Mermaids Find, which started during the lockdown.
Yep.
My eyelash Canada page is over 7,000, and I have another page
Wow.
because I had changed my business name to Beauty Biz. So on Instagram, I have Beauty Biz with a Z.ca, which is over 8,000 followers. I did it all myself. I must say my daughter taught me in the beginning, but I did all the work myself.
Wow.
Nice.
And remember what I said, like in the beauty business, every client that comes to me, they fill a form. I have their name, phone number, and email. In,
Data.
and I've been doing that since 2004.
What?
Wow. Yep.
Yes.
That's the way.
So everyone these days, data,
Yes.
data, data, data.
The next thing is, which I don't have in place for the restaurant right now, but I did have it for many years. In 2009, a client of mine said to me, "Why are you answering your phone while you're doing my lashes? Why don't you get a receptionist?" I had one. Every 15 minutes, she was outside taking a smoke break. And you can't interview someone and say, "Do you smoke?" You can't ask them certain
Right.
questions. So
Right.
then I learned when I interview someone for work, I have a few little tests that I give them. I drop a piece of paper on the floor when they're coming in and I see if they step over it. If they pick it up, they're
Oh.
hired. If they step over it, heck no.
No.
So that's
You-
one of my
yeah.
tests. The next test,
Wow.
I say, "Oh, do you have a cigarette? Or do you have a light?" If they do,
All right.
That's crazy.
Okay. So
So, you
let's
know,
get
and
to, go ahead.
one thing, there's a little bit of trivia that I should share with you. There was another guest that was supposed to participate. Her name is Franny's. She runs
Yes.
she's Nigerian. She runs a restaurant in Halifax, Sackville, and she is a hairdresser and also runs a restaurant. It would have been interesting to have had them both on. She's
Yes.
very animated, and she
Yes.
also does entertainment and she throws parties in Halifax as well. But I had the pleasure of having her food twice. I had it the first time when I was coming back, and I had it right before I stepped on the plane. So that put me in a very good sleepy mode.
Okay.
well,
No problem.
when
Some
it
more.
comes to Halifax, when we came from, my mom was in Canada already. When we came from Jamaica in 1986, my mom lived in Halifax and worked for the federal government.
Wow,
So we went
they're
straight to
striking now.
Halifax. We lived on Charles Street near Gottingen Street, and I went
Yes,
to
I know that.
Elizabeth High School before I came to
Wow,
Toronto.
look at that.
Nothing, nothing. Where we have
My
more in
chance, eh?
common than just conversation. That's what
I'm
happens
telling you.
on the Doctor
Jamaicans in
Vibe.
Halifax. Yes.
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 Oh,
Yes.
yes.
All right. Some comments here. Adolfina says yes. Service leadership from the top. She also says, "I love the innovative energy." I love how she
Mm,
put that innovative energy.
mhm.
Ray says, "Kudos for shouting out those who helped you on the journey.
Thank
We must
you.
not forget those who provided insight and guidance. Very important."
Thank you.
You may have a new employee. Divine Right says she says she's a workaholic. She gets it from her mama. Love it. That's where I struggle, getting my newsletters out and collecting emails.
Oh, you
And
must.
she also says, "Yvette, I'm coming to Canada for work for you. I love your work ethic." So you may have a transplanted American come work for you. Would you be up for that?
Oh, absolutely. Why not?
I
And
love it.
someone I've had someone approach me just about 6 months after I started the food. He came once and kept coming every week and brought his wife, this man, and then he said he was so interested in my sauces. He's like, "Oh my God, where did you get the recipe for the sauce?" I said, "Trial and error." He's like, "What do you mean trial and error? Did you cook? Where were you cooking seafood boil before?" I said, "I cooked my first seafood boil in this restaurant. I've never done it before, and absolutely trial and error with my sauces. I have garlic sauce,
Mm,
Mm,
Cajun sauce,
stop
mm.
it.
and then what I did was I mixed the two sauce together and called it the Mermaid's Blend.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
People are hooked
Uh,
on the mermaid's blend, I tell you.
Out
I
of
was supposed to
bounds.
fast. I was supposed
Then,
to fast this morning. No, she's making
then
me want to go eat food.
so that's the garlic, the Cajun, and the mermaid's blend. And then one day I'm like, coconut and seafood. Let's see. So I got to work, and now the coconut sauce, if you try it, you will get hooked.
I realize, Yvette is not a good person,
No, she's a wicked
She's
person.
a
Wicked.
wicked person, evil.
Wicked person. She's not nice. She's
I know, I know.
yeah,
So,
as a no, you're not as a young person, you're not nice.
so now,
Divine
no,
Right's asking, have you thought about bottling your sauces and selling them?
oh, of course, come on, I'm Yvette.
All right, time for Foodpreneur Lab. Time for Foodpreneur Lab.
I'm
Yes.
Yvette. I already have the packaging to package the powdered version
Oh, what?
sauce. So, okay, so the first idea was to jar the ready-made sauce so that you could just heat it up at home. And let me tell you something about my sauce, okay? You can boil chicken and put it in my sauce and it's going to taste good. And when I say boiled chicken, I mean with no seasoning. But my sauce will bring that
Wake
chicken
it
to
up.
life. So now I have the coconut. So now my mermaid sauce is the garlic sauce, the Cajun sauce, and the coconut sauce together. Oh my God.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Wow. Wow. Roger.
Not a good
So,
person.
so I okay. So I have,
Not just the wicked. I'll just
So-
call you wicked event.
I've been told. So I have those 4 sauces: the garlic butter, the Cajun, the coconut, and the mermaid's blend.
Mm.
And my next move is to bottle it and sell it. So I already tested it by having it in the fridge for a month, and this is preservative free.
Wow.
And after a month in the fridge,
Yeah.
it was like it was day one.
You need to meet Janice Bartley right
Yes.
quick.
I need to meet the person who's gonna package and get my sauce out there. So
Janice
on top of that, I thought about shipping internationally and the form of a liquid of the sauce. So now, for those people who are not too busy to cook their own sauce, we won't use the L word. To cook their own sauce, I have the powdered version, which I will package, and all they need to do is put it in a pot, add the right amount of water, and stir it for a couple minutes.
All right. Well, you know what? We're gonna shut it down on Instagram, but I want to say hello to Life Coaching for Men. Curtis, good morning. Michaela S. Ben, have not seen you in a minute. We are gonna shut it down on Instagram. If you want to catch the full conversation with the workaholic, otherwise known as Yvette Spencer, owner, operator of Mervyn's Fine Seafood Bubble Tea, go over to YouTube, the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. You can watch the full conversations. We're shutting it down on Instagram. Thank you for your support. Remember to give yourself grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Wow. That, like, I'm telling you, I definitely think so. Divine Right, when you're coming up here, she's going, Yvette, I'm on your IG page and my mouth is watering.
Oh, I forgot.
Oh,
Crayfish. Crayfish was not a part of my menu. And one of my customers who is from America, who moved here, when she came, she's like, I can't find the crayfish on the menu. I was like, what? I don't have crayfish. And she's like, well, what kind of seafood boil restaurant don't have crayfish? So I got crayfish on the menu. And it is so popular. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Crayfish is very, very popular.
Very popular in Jamaica too.
And we have all kinds of soups also.
there you go. You offer desserts to Yvette. Wow, I'm booking me and my son's ticket to fly out there. All right.
We have Jamaican cake. We have Jamaican black cake
Mm-hmm.
all year long.
All year long, not just Christmas.
All year long. That's a part of my fixed menu for the.
Yes, we're going to get to that. We're going to ask what is on the fixed menu for Restaurant Week.
Okay, so I'm going to have, as appetizer, we'll have saltfish fritter.
Mm-hmm.
And then the meal will be crayfish, mussels, shrimp, lobster tail, and snow crab legs.
Wow.
And and you can choose from corn, potato, or rice. You get to choose two. And then the dessert will be a piece of Jamaican cake.
Ed,
Can
I
I
see your
can I
face.
get up and leave now to come to drive down now? And Roger, you can close the show out. So by the time you close, I'm
No,
there.
no, no. I'll be leaving at the same time.
But okay. Wow, that's
And then the
phenomenal.
dessert,
Yeah, the Jamaican slice of cake. Yes.
slice of cake. Mm.
Oh yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, okay.
Man, if I had a white flag, I'd be waving it right
Surrender.
now.
Yeah, we're surrendered. We're surrendered, man. We're surrendered.
Oh
I
my,
love that menu. I love that prefix menu.
yes.
It's completely different from everybody who's on that strip. There's
Yes.
nobody that has that
That's right.
on that strip. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's anybody who has anything like that
Well,
participated.
so before I was talking about the man that used to come every week,
Mhm.
he was telling me you should franchise, you should franchise. I'm like, I'm a baby in this. I need to dot all my I's and cross all my T's and figure out all the nuts before I go there.
Mhm.
So yeah, he thought he was smart, but not smarter than me. He had his own ideas, and I would give you a free space to manufacture your sauce, but there's no such thing as free.
Mhm.
My sauce, to me right now, is like the Colonel's secret recipe. My sauce is what I have over my competition, and they're a
Right.
big franchise in Ontario, and they've been around. Like I'm in my menu was inspired because of eating at their restaurant.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
So, again, Divine Right seems to be your number one fan now. I'm done. I want a plate now. And she
And we
says,
have big platters. We have big platters to feed.
"Don't tell me that. Just
Of
serve it to me when
course,
I come." All
we
right.
have
So,
we have a dinner for three in the big silver platter, and we have a dinner for six in the. We can cater to any occasion. All my
Mhm.
meals, we can cater to 1,000 people.
Okay.
so Divine Right says, Roger, she has a picture of the cake on Instagram.
Oh,
Good.
good. Don't
And
worry.
then,
I'll have yours, divine, right?
yeah.
We
And Ray
have
says,
we have
Ray
sorry,
asked, do you have a liquor license?
not yet.
Okay.
Coming
Working on it?
soon.
Coming soon. All right. Soon
Coming
come.
soon.
Soon
Soon
come.
come.
Soon
Soon
come.
come, man. So my bubble tea, I have tamarind, ginger,
Mm.
soursop,
What?
guava,
Gee.
pistachio.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
My
no,
my
no,
teacher
no,
told me
No, no.
no,
add
no.
add add your favorite things.
You know,
So
you see, they do this thing on Instagram. I'm gonna do it here. So I want to do that and have a plate in front of me when I draw my hand away.
and the king crab, oh my goodness. The king crabs are the length of your arm.
So I have a
What?
friend.
The king crab that you see on my Instagram page, yes, we sell that.
So I have a friend who is in Little Jamaica. Her name is Micheline Halsall. Ed, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to get some orders up from her. She can
Michelle
bring
is
Yeah.
some.
Michelle is a
Yeah, man, she can bring.
godsend.
She is a godsend. I have to big her up again. Micheline
Yes,
Halsall
she
is the real deal. When you talk about people who are there in the community that are actually doing work, she is actually one of those people.
Yeah.
She's one of those people. Another person that I found out in Halifax is Bernadette.
Yes.
Bernadette
Bernadette Hamilton Reed. Yep.
Reed. Oh my God. Amazing community supporter. Amazing.
Actually, you know
amazing.
what? So since Divine Right talked about the Instagram page, let's just put it on display right here, right now.
Mm.
So let's get
And,
down to
and,
business.
and while you're showing that, I do want to just talk about some of our supporters because I think that's important as well to know that this ByBlacks Restaurant Week series, this particular spring series, is supported entirely financially from Black community organizations. So a lot of people like to say that we don't support each other. That's not my experience, guys. I don't experience that personally or professionally, right? So, Black Opportunity Fund, the Afro Caribbean Business Network, the BBPA, the Black Business Initiative from Halifax, the FACE Coalition, even the Jamaica Cultural Association of Nova Scotia is supporting us, and Feed the Soul, which is up in Edmonton, that also known as Black owned Edmonton as well. And then on the media side, I mean, we have gotten support from, continue to get support from Canada Takeout. We have support from Caribbean Vibrations, Cuisine Noir from the States, who was introduced to us by the one and only Edgar, aka Dr. Vibe. Fever TV, Jump Podcast, the Caribbean Camera, Dr. Vibe Show, Toronto Caribbean, and then on the tourism side, because as I said, the tourism boards they know that this is a win-win for them. You know, there's Destination Toronto that's helping us, Downtown Halifax is helping us, Discover Halifax, Explore Edmonton, also Destination Vancouver, and Tourism Montreal is just waiting on the list of restaurants from Face Coalition for Quebec, for Montreal-based restaurants. So it's a really a lot of different organizations that come together to make this thing work. It's not just ByBlacks. I wish I could just take the credit, but that's not the reality. The reality is there are a number of players: the Black community associations, the Black media, and then of course the tourism boards and influencers too. Right? So there are a ton of influencers that jump in and go and visit different restaurants on their own dime. On their own dime.
It's interesting. It's interesting, Roger. You mentioned that, and it's how many people are involved to make this happen. So you've not only ByBlacks, not only the organizations, media, tourism. So who says we can't work together?
Who says we can't? That's not. But it's strange when you approach a restaurant and the restaurant is leery about participating, especially when it doesn't cost them anything. Because Yvette, how much money did you pay to participate?
Nothing.
Okay. So it's worrying to me, and I think this is something we have to the Black community associations really need to tackle this one, in that there's a level of reluctance to work with the Black community association sometimes, because historically they're saying that sometimes they didn't support them, right? So it's just recently now that funding is coming through, and I know that, you know, people like ACB and BBPA, FACE, etc., BOF, they're able to provide funding to various businesses, not just restaurants. So it's just within, recently where there's been like significant traction, but historically a lot of businesses say they didn't really get the support, and they reached out for the support. And that's conversations I've had with restaurants nationwide. So it's not to say it's any specific one Black association. It's a nationwide thing.
Yeah. Well, Yvette, I know you don't have anything else to do today because you're just sitting down on your couch and
taunt us.
Oh yes, yes. That's what you're a coach taunter.
Yes,
You become my number. So before we let you go, and again, first of all, thank you for your time.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
And I definitely cannot wait to meet you. But I definitely think some people out there, you would gain a lot from her evaluated experience, because she's doing a lot of things, not only that some food people need to know about, but business people in general.
Yes. So if I can say something, so I just wanted to let them know our food is cooked mild, if with zero pepper. If you want pepper, when they order, they choose mild, medium, or hot. We add our freshly blended pepper, which is my mom's job because I can't handle the blending of the pepper. My mom blends buckets, like big buckets. Scotch bonnet pepper.
Wow.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that.
Pepper.
Yeah, I have to try it out, man.
We have a serious blend of fresh, hot pepper that my mom does. And that's what we put in the food. We don't buy pepper sauce anywhere. That's what we put in the food. So
There
when
you
you
go.
order, you get, after you choose your sauce, you get to choose mild, medium, or hot. And you can pre-order a week ahead. You can pre-order your Mother's Day trays now.
Wow. Well, you know, what a great way to kick it off on the Dr. Vibe show this week on the Morning Vibe with, you know, ByBlacks.com Restaurant Week, but also your energy and your
Mhm.
vision and your hard work. And you know how to laugh too.
Yes.
Thank you. And I just moved back to Eglinton. I was at Dufferin and Orford Road for my beauty business for 11 years. I just moved to Eglinton a few months ago. And I'm
Okay.
just, this week, I'm finishing my renovation of my shop to be fully open for walk-in. I haven't even opened for walk-in yet, but I will be by the end of this week. I will be
Okay.
open walking. And since I'm a member of the Eglinton BIA.
Yes, yes,
Important too.
I'm a
Important
yes.
part of the
too.
BIA because we are reopening Eglinton, and the roads are fully opened. The roads
Yes.
are fully open. People,
Yes.
you can park right on the street.
There you
There
go.
you
Eglinton Avenue is fully open and very nice.
go. All
There you
right.
go. No
So
excuses.
a few last comments. O Downer says mukbang, just saying. And Divine Right, what? This ain't right. We live too far and we want to play it.
Well,
Don't worry. Don't
I
worry.
have,
When Roger and
I
I
have
go down there, we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do an Instagram live, and
Yeah.
we'll see how fast you get up here.
I was surprised to see since I opened the restaurant, people ordering from the US to be
What?
delivered to their mothers here. I was like, whoa. I had to call the number. I didn't believe it was real. It was an American phone
Wow.
number. The lady she went online on my website and ordered a tray for her mother on Mother's Day.
Oh, that's lovely.
Wow.
Amazing.
That tells me you're doing a really good thing.
Yeah.
You've sprung an idea in my head now.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. I see the Dundas wheels are turning, so I'm gonna let
Mhm.
that go. I have a feeling we're gonna see you this week, and when I
Thank
do see you,
you.
we're gonna go Instagram live, and you're gonna just rock the house like you did this morning.
Yay.
Thank you so much. The
Thank
contact
you.
information is there, the website, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you. You and your mother, remember to give yourself grace and don't just manage your time, manage your energy.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time. Take care.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow, what a way to start off.
Man, I was blown away. We did speak in November because she participated in November, but some of the stuff I didn't remember. But that description of her work ethic was the thing that really did it for me because most people don't have that work ethic.
No, they don't.
That's the thing that generates success. And I know that's what when I look at people like Wayne and Ray, especially, I know that that's the work ethic that they have.
Yeah.
They're about no nonsense. We got to get this job done.
Yeah, don't
Nothing
get
is
good.
going to stop us.
Don't get good, get done.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
You know,
And
and
be consistent. And be
yes,
consistent in it.
you know, it reminds me a few weeks ago, and I think, well, I shared it with some people. I had a chance to hear a gentleman named Jay Davis speak at an event by CEO Global Network.
Mhm.
And he used to be vice president of Volvo worldwide. And one of the
Wow.
first things he said was a lot of people want success, but they're not willing to do the work to be a success.
Yeah.
That Yvette Spencer is doing the work in 2 different businesses.
It's insane, but I mean, it's the Jamaican thing, right? There was this joke on that LL Cool J comedy where he said, "What? You got 3 jobs? You Jamaican, man?" So it's like
No,
I
you
feel
are
like
you talking about Living Color?
is it? No, it was
6
actually
job?
3 jobs. No, it was in
Okay,
it
something
was
different.
LL Cool J.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different things. He would say, "Yeah, you
So
got 3 jobs. You must be Jamaican, man." Yeah.
so byblacks.com/restaurant week. What else what's coming up this week? The actual week is next week, but what are you working on this week and what's gonna happen next week?
So we got to get these shirts out to all the
Yes.
restaurants. Right?
Yes, yes.
So, we have to get their posters, their table toppers, all those things are being mailed out between today, mailed to the people that are in, Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, and in the Atlantic, Quebec. and then also distributed locally to the restaurants that are in the GTA as well. So just to point out too that we this time around we have restaurants participating from British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia,
Wow.
New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island. Right,
Wow.
so the stretch is for. I know the BBPA they were trying to get one of the restaurants that they had supported was up in Yellowknife, and they were trying to get them on board, but I'm not sure that they were successful in doing that. So they stuck with and sponsored 10 restaurants from Little Jamaica. As I said, a lot of people, there's talk sometimes, but these organizations are trying their best to support and keep Black-owned businesses open. And I think, somebody mentioned the point about getting the money back in the community. It starts right with restaurants, because the restaurants are typically family run. So you're supporting an entire family. It's a whole family of people that you're supporting. It's not somebody that's typically hiring a lot of people from outside the community. And that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with hiring people from outside the community. But what I've seen in going to all of these restaurants is that most of them are family run. The mother-daughter combination is very common.
A BB Man project, same thing.
Same thing.
Right.
Brata, same thing. Right. Even though when I went to Mary's, she had her kids in the restaurant working too. Right. So there's so much of it.
So family, byblacks.com/restaurant. Look on the screen. This is the page. The countdown is on. And this is what you're gonna see. Go to the site. Go check out what's going on in different cities. Even if you don't live, see what's happening out there. It's broken down. Western Canada, Central Canada, all the different cities and restaurants, Eastern Canada.
Yeah, there's more being added too. So we just got 2 new registrations over the weekend. And as I said, we're working with Face to onboard the Quebec restaurants, and I believe they had a list of 10 restaurants that has not been added to this list as yet. And then also the Black Community Association of, I think it's called the Black Cultural Society of Prince Edward Island. They reached out to 7 restaurants to try and get them to participate as well. So we anticipate there being more. The other thing I wanted to just say is that, I want to let people know, because a lot of people think, what's in it for ByBlacks to do this thing? Because there must be something in it for us. And yes, there is something in it for us. We are getting our brand out there throughout the country. That's all that's in it for us. It's not a money maker. The money that comes in from the association gets pushed to market the restaurants. All the hands are on deck. My team, Katie and Michaela, Yomade, on the ByBlacks side, on the Convo Media side, Africa and Wendy. That's 5. That's 6 people working to do this thing and coordinate it with the restaurants. So far, I believe there are 43 restaurants participating at this point. As I say, we anticipate in another 10 to join on by Friday, right? Which will take it to hopefully 53, somewhere around that region. The other thing I want to know is that, to me, by the time Friday comes around, we're done with this restaurant week. And after that, it's just going out and eating and dining, right? And having fun. There's publicity that's going on still. But we are forward thinking. So flash forward to the fall edition restaurant week. We are actually doing our media launch kickoff in Vancouver at Calabash Restaurant. That is where we're doing it. They are also participating in this restaurant week. So we're going to be in Vancouver kicking off restaurant week for the fall edition in October. I believe it's going to be either the 16th or the 17th. So that's already being coordinated and driven. And then in the spring of 2024, so far we're gone 1 year ahead. We're kicking off restaurant week in Montreal, Quebec. Yes, in partnership with Face Coalition. So we try to do these things now, just determine where it's going to be. As we say, it's a national campaign. We can kick off restaurant week anywhere in the country, and especially in cities where there's a predominant, where there's a lot of Black-owned restaurants. It makes sense.
That's a wrap. I'm not adding anything onto that other than family. Great conversation today, Roger, you, Camille, and your wonderful children.
Thank
You know,
you.
mean the world to me. And thank you for all you have done, are doing, and will be doing, not only by Blacks, but all over the place. And Travoy, Damon Travoy was a former intern of mine. Don't get good, get done. Really trying to work on this myself. Learned a lot from this episode. Thanks. Divine Right says, Saint Travoy, I learned a lot. Thanks again, Yvette. And Ray closes out. Great episode, great initiative. Hashtag ByBlacks.com. Just
Thank
use
you, Ray.
hashtag ByBlacks. That's a hashtag. And also, there's a number of, you know what? There's a number of hashtags too for Restaurant Week. So we'll bring those up on Friday, because Roger and another group of restaurateurs will be on Friday. So we're going to close it off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace, and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. There are the places you can watch the replays on the bottom of the screen. Also, would you like to promote your business service on our show? Like the McLean Group does all the time on Mondays. I own a blank there for a second. I should forget. Contact me at DR. Yes, Doctor. Yeah, the food is in my head. The boil. The DR period VIB at the drvibeshow.com.
And bubble tea.
And bubble tea. Yes, and the man. That, you know what? I'm actually gonna tell some of my Chinese friends, come into this place for some bubble tea.
Yes.
That will freak them out.
That will
freak them out. And there's all the different places you can get a hold of me, family. We ran into huge bonus time today, so thanks for sticking around. Watch replays, and remember, just don't manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourselves grace. Take care, everyone. Be well and keep the faith. We'll see you on Friday.